Greetings, salutations, and other big words. My name's Ethan. My handle is Wrangler. Welcome to Frequency Studios Weekly Wing It number 159 here on Rumble and YouTube and the X Twitter. This is our first triple cast. We are now on Twitter, and so that way we can make fools of ourselves to even more people. How y'all doing tonight? Joining us over in the big box as usual, right there with all that cool inking work he's doing, is Mr. Frederick Guimon.
How you doing, everybody? I'm just going to ink some stuff tonight. I don't know which one I'm going to go for. This one's looking nice. Mighty well advanced.
You know, I'm a fan of that one.
This one's, almost the background's done. I got to get the character done. And this one's an exercise, but I'm getting like warmed up on the Batman because it's not a finished drawing of mine. It's just an exercise. So I'm getting warmed up on this one, and we'll see where the evening takes us. I hope you guys are doing well tonight.
And also joining us, welcome back, Mr. Rondo.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight? I'm actually compiling what I want to say when we talk about video games as a medium.
Cool. And joining us for the first time, it is the Dabbling Warlock. How you doing, Warlock?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you very much.
And King Bawb has joined us in the chat. He says, way too long of an intro. Darn, I was thinking of making it a longer one. I just want to make a 2-hour intro. That way we don't have to talk at all.
Just for King Bawb, you should make a 3-hour intro.
Yeah, the show ends before the intro does.
When you go on Omer's show,
really crank it slow.
When you go on Omer's show on Mondays, he has a 17-minute intro.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Like when the intro's done, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to call it a night, guys. It's been fun.
Is it really? It's not really 17 minutes. Is it? I mean, I know he's got some long intros, but he does some long shows too.
I check the clock because I usually get to the show before the start. We talk beforehand a little bit, and then you sit through the intro before the show starts officially for everybody going live. And then I look at the clock when the intro's done. It's like 17 minutes. I could have fucking fixed 2 pages on my website in 17 minutes.
That is run into town, grab something to eat, and run back kind of time for me.
Yeah, he's giving everyone a chance to top off their coffee and drink it and top it off again.
I think I could make an entire meal in 17 minutes.
I could.
Is that a hungry man?
I could. Doesn't take that long to make some ground beef.
Yeah. Well, we're certainly going to want to check out your website again tonight because I guess you've added a few new features, right?
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Like it's faster. It's got a couple of new extra features. It looks sleeker as well. I made it work well on mobile. So I'm excited to show you off. I think you guys are going to like it.
Yeah, so nice. Probably around the top of the hour, we'll go over that.
Sounds good to me.
All right, yeah. King Bawb says, I mean, that would be an improvement. Yeah, if I did all it. Watch me make a 2-hour intro and we do nothing but play the intro and then call it a night, and I get the most views and likes I've ever gotten.
Oh, geez. If that happened to me, that would hurt my soul.
On the one hand, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I think I would be defeated. I'd be like, you know what? I had a good career. I'm calling it there.
I don't know. People are actually hitting the like on that. That's your work, dude.
Yeah. On the one hand, that would be hilarious. On the other hand, that would be pretty soul crushing.
I had something similar happen to me this week, and you were there, Wrangler. I needed to test streaming on the website because the website has some shows listed, and I wanted to be able to detect when a show is live or not. And so I'm like, well, no one's live. It's like 10 in the morning. No one's doing a stream. So I'm just like going to start my stream and test it out and then people start coming in the stream in the chat. Hey, how's it going? What's this? I'm like,
you happen to do it at you happen to do it at like the perfect time when it's just like dead.
I just happened to look at my subscription page and saw Frederick was live. It said test stream. I'm like, oh, he's testing something. I'm going to go in and start chatting.
Yeah. It's like, let me mess with what I did. And it just tells me I got to stream at that time now. And I got to get back to doing some day drawing. I've just been totally in the website stuff for about a month, so it's time to switch gears.
Websites are a lot like books and other works of art. They're never really done. They just get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm done. Well, I say this because I'm a web developer in my day job.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I've been half and half all my life, like half computer programming, half comic books and drawing. And I usually work by guilt, like whatever I feel the most guilty about not doing is what I hop onto. And the website started like around Christmas. Christmas has this guilt-free kind of zone where you can do anything during the holidays and you don't need to justify it to yourself because everyone's busy having fun and with their families and stuff. So you're like, okay, I can do this and I don't even need to justify it to anybody. And so once I got started, I was like, okay, let me spend 2 weeks on this, get it out there. And after 2 weeks, it was like, oh, dude, it's almost done. I just need 1 more week of fixing and maybe an extra week of testing. And I've been like stretching a week here and a week there and just fix. But now it's like, it's getting polished. It's getting pretty good. You guys can tell me what your first impressions are, but I'm starting to feel pretty good.
Yeah, well, there's no limit to what you can accomplish when you're supposed to be doing other things.
There's that's kind of one of the things. Like there'll be times it's like I know I need to be working on this thing, and all of a sudden I got the urge to clean, like get the house cleaned up, do the dishes, do the laundry.
Is it
get all that?
You feel less guilty about kicking a can down the road if you're doing something else that's productive.
Yeah.
Is it one of those things where like you don't want to do it so much that you're like, I think I'm gonna like do my taxes or something? Is it like kind of like that or?
Yeah, there's sometimes like that with like work. My title says web developer. Honestly, most of what I do nowadays is remediate PDFs to make sure they're like Section 508 compliant and stuff like that. And it is tedium incarnate. There's nothing fun about it.
I'm a Neanderthal when it comes to computers.
Basically, actually, this is probably the closest thing I can do or describe it to. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm making sure the closed captions on the PDF work. So like television closed captions. There's probably people who are going to be thinking I'm like 40, 50 years old now. But
I know how to type in CD/Sierra and play King's Quest.
I'm not that old.
On my Tandy 1000.
I did have at one point I did have a computer that was older than I was that I'd mess around with, but that was years ago.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a computer older than I was.
Let's see. Computer was made in 85. I was born in 89.
Well, the home computer was. There have been computers around before any of us were born.
Oh, yeah. I think one of the earliest mechanical computers was...
Yeah, but they didn't have operating systems. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Well, the definition of a computer is something that computes.
So a calculator counts.
Yeah, they're the women who would like do, like
the definition of a computer is something that plays computer games.
Yeah, like
hey, depending on how you
Space Quest, Leisure Suit Larry and the Land of the Lounge Lizards, Prince of Persia, the original. That was some good animation.
Yeah. Isn't that Ubisoft? Prince of Persia.
It wasn't Ubisoft at the time.
I hate to break it to you guys. It's all numbers under the hood.
Yeah, it's all ones and zeros. Think about it. Binary ones and zeros.
It's all Boolean math.
Is it really all that much different than Morse code, which are dots and dashes? It's digital, which is on off.
Actually, there is one difference. Morse code does not have like a set length. So
yeah, but I mean the same concept. We're taking 2 digits or 2 states and turning it into a whole thing.
Yeah. and that way, yes, it is. And honestly, that Boolean logic is dealing with like true and false, and
Yep.
different ways to figure out if something is true or false. That's where you get things like like if you've ever heard people talk about AND gates or OR gates or XOR gates or AND gates.
I have a liberal computer. It has its own truth. Its own.
Aaron, what's going on, man? From
Hey,
Immortal
welcome.
Rising comic book.
How you
Hey,
doing?
let me know if you want to hop in tonight. We're going to talk about video games as a storytelling medium. If you want to join the
Yeah.
conversation, or if you just want to come in and derail it, we're always happy to have you.
Bring
Either
him
way.
in. I've got.
he might.
I added his book to the website right before we got on.
Oh, cool.
It's not even done. You know, he's got the cover out. So I'm like, okay, let's put it on the site already. And it's good to go.
So
yeah. But what do you guys think about that? I mean, when we have storytelling mediums, there is unfortunately some stigmas, especially here in the West. Like, for example, comics, great storytelling medium, but a lot of people see it as, oh, that's kid stuff. Meanwhile, over in Japan, they just see it as literature. And
yeah.
So they will tell any kind of story.
Well, not just in Japan, everywhere else in the world except for America.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what about bande dessinée and whatnot?
Yeah, I have to mention bande dessinée, or else Frederick will remind me that I'm not talking about it, and I can't make that mistake.
I didn't even need to bring it up.
Oh, it's the same thing with animation.
But animation as well. It's got the same stigma here in the West anyway. But then we have video games, which are still, even though we have things like rated M for mature, this is not for kids, is still seen as a kids thing. And it's not.
Yeah.
But it has become a storytelling medium in and of itself. And I think a lot of people are overlooking that.
Well, it's always been a storytelling medium to some extent.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because like one of my first games on the C64 was Zork, and it was it was all text. There was no graphics.
So actually,
Hey guys.
Pong,
British legend. What's up, Raven?
Zork was fun.
Yeah, I never played Zork, and unfortunately, my only exposure to it was like the default like throwaway variable and function names that they use in like intro to computer science courses. So like foo, bar, q, quux, and those would be like variable and function names.
Foo bar.
Yeah. But going back to what you were saying about video games being a storytelling medium in their own right, I think Pong is technically the first, or I'm pretty sure it was the first commercial video game. I'm not 100% certain it was the first computer
arcade
game.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the first computer game, but it was the first like arcade game that you could put a quarter in and play.
Yeah, but if we look at a story as like characters resolving a conflict, if we go with that definition of what a story is, then Pong tells a story. It tells a story of two characters trying to beat each other in this game where they can't let this object pass them, and if they do, the other side scores a point.
Yeah, but it's got shitty character development, you got to admit.
Oh yeah,
but they started adding in story.
It's about as bare bones as a story gets.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still better than Star Wars, but you know.
Okay. I have to ask this because depending on your answer, we may have a fight.
Bring it.
Are we talking?
Get
are
over
we
here.
talking the sequel, or are we talking all of Star Wars?
No, we're talking the Disney Lucasfilm sequels.
Oh yeah. The
current iteration,
yeah.
the current version, like the stuff that's coming out now, which is worse every day.
Pong is not a story that's.
I was like, is an actual fist fight going to be here? Oh, geez.
Yeah, I thought Pong was just like table tennis or you know.
It is.
tennis or something. I didn't realize that there was an actual story there.
Well, it's one of those. Well, like King Bob says, it's a bit of a stretch, but
Yeah, well, we can have a fist fight. Who are you picking, Billy or Jimmy?
Mortal Kombat. Now there's a story.
Yeah, but at first we were just coming up with a bare bones story as an excuse for the game mechanics and just to let the game happen. But
Yeah.
now it's like they're sitting there writing out stories before they even start developing the game, you know?
yeah,
So,
It-
I mean, things have changed
Well,
drastically.
now they're building stories from video games. Like we got the horrible Fallout series, which is an example.
yeah.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
Well,
jeez.
the other thing is,
I
video
didn't mean
games as a
to bring
medium is-
everybody down.
Yeah, well, video games as a medium is as a storytelling medium is one of the most versatile media that you have out there, because you can do there's all sorts of different modes of storytelling that you can engage in a game. So you have like the more linear storytelling, so things like visual novels where you have like a series of events and to progress you have to like depending on how it's structured, like say if there's like one path you got to go through and everything else, and you have to say the right thing, pick the right option or something like that. It can be a very linear story like what you get out of a novel.
Or it could be branching like a choose your own adventure.
Yeah, it could be branching like a choose your own adventure.
You could
be
say that
more-
about any game with female characters. You always have to say the right thing, or else you're in trouble.
Oh Lord.
Now, is it games in general,
I
or is
am-
it computer games specifically?
I am the only grandson on both sides of my family. No comment. But so you have like the linear, more traditional storytelling, but you also have visual storytelling. So like one of the things that you'll sometimes hear about concept art is like, have your picture tell a story, have the artwork tell a story, and what that's about is putting in details that get the person who's viewing it to ask themselves, okay, why is that there? And they fill in the blanks. And if you have a series of pictures, so like sequential arc, like you can have a comic that has no dialogue, no characters. It's just a sequential, it's a series of images. You can tell a story. You can tell a very powerful story with just images.
Like
Dialogue, no characters.
an example of that was a Fantastic Four comic. I think it was the
It
one
had
right
no-
after Johnny Storm was killed by.
It had no characters.
No, it had characters. It had no dialogue whatsoever.
Yeah.
It was like everybody was in mourning over Johnny Storm because he was killed by, I think it was a nihilist, and it hit hard.
Yeah.
Another one, Joss Whedon did a whole Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode. I don't know if it was called Hush or something like that, but there was no speaking in the whole thing, and you know, it takes somebody very talented to pull that off properly.
Yeah, but I'm curious about
Uh,
the no characters thing because I know
So,
comics with no text, like G.I. Joe number 21 is the story of two ninjas. So there's no dialogue. The whole thing is silent, but like
Okay.
no characters
let me,
telling a story with no characters. What's the
all right,
story if there's no
allow
characters?
me if you'll allow me to engage in a little bit of picture painting here. I'm doing this on the fly, so I'm going to mess up a lot. Apologies in advance.
Welcome to the Weekly Wing It.
Hey, I am embodying the spirit of the show. So let's say you have a short comic and your first frame shows a tree. There's no animals or anything like that. It's just a tree. And then the next frame has the point of view panning down, and you see the tree is growing out of this road that has been broken up, and you see buildings that are run down that have been neglected for a long time. You see rusted out cars and all this other thing. It's a ghost town that you're seeing, and then the point of view pans some more, and then you see more buildings, taller buildings, buildings that have been burned out, buildings that have been destroyed, that something catastrophic has happened to them, and they're only recognizable by their pieces. They've been turned to rubble, they have been bombed out, they have been hollowed out by fire, and then we pan more. We see skeletons, we see bones, we see craters, and all these other things. That's telling a story there. That's telling a story, and we don't have a character, we don't have a word of dialogue. It's telling a story through scenery.
Yeah, I think there
So
is
that's
an actual term for that. It's called environmental storytelling.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to sell any sequels, though. There won't be an issue 2 to that one.
Yeah,
I would argue that's
well,
more
for that one, yes, but that's not the only way that you can tell the story. Another way you could do this is like you show a kitchen with a coffee cup with steam rising off of it. You show a plate with like a mostly eaten waffle and like some bacon crumbs on it.
And Bawb isn't that far off.
Yeah. It is a character in that, and to some extent, you do have that kind of say again,
Or the
Bawb.
buildings.
But what
Have a great night.
it sounds more like a setup because you're like, there's no arc in that story, right?
Yeah, but it's telling a story through the things that aren't said. It's telling a story through things that are shown. So, like in the first example,
Yeah, but we're not talking about like a story in the classical sense that has a 3-act structure, that has a character arc where your character is evolving.
Yeah, I would say that doesn't have necessarily a plot, but you're telling a story in a sense of like creating atmosphere, themes.
It's storytelling through implication.
Yeah, but
as a Metroid fan, I love that stuff. I play a lot of Metroid, and there's a lot of details in the background that fill you in on stuff that happened, but it never explicitly states it blatantly. It's if you pay attention, you realize, oh, this all makes sense now.
I mean, this is the type of like we're arguing on the definition, and this starts to sound like university level dissertation stuff. Not anything that would grab the attention of the common person, kind of.
Yeah, and to be honest, you're right. Not most people would see it, but it's also a form of storytelling that does reward attention to detail and things like that. In environmental storyteller, visual storytelling, those are things that you can engage with in video games alongside the more traditional linear storytelling that we've talked about and the branching storytelling that we've talked about. You also have Minecraft. If you think about it, Minecraft implies a story. It doesn't ever come out right in the open and say this is what happened, but there's this when you take all the environments as a whole, take everything and look at it, you see this there's this story of civilizations that grew too proud and destroyed themselves. You see that in the Nether. With the environments and things like that, the fortresses that you see, there's fell magics occurring in the overworld, creating the undead and all these other monsters and things like that most average people do not have a defense against. The villagers are pretty much helpless. They cannot defend themselves unless they have a golem around or something like that, and even then it's kind of a losing battle. So it's
Raven used that to his advantage when he did an engineering feat in Minecraft.
Yeah. So there's and there's also storytelling through mechanics as well. Like, and this is an argument I've made before about TTRPGs, specifically about Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 and Pathfinder 1E, and how wizards work in the rules implies something about how magic works in the world. So, if you never played it, I think up until maybe 4th, but definitely 5e. If you were playing a wizard or another prepared caster like a cleric, you had however many times you were intending to cast a spell, that's how many times you would prepare it. And if you only prepared a spell 3 times, you could cast it 3 times, but after that, you couldn't cast it anymore. So that implies something about how magic works in the setting, which is you have limited casting. So when you're preparing your spells, you can imagine your character actually literally preparing something like writing out like a series of runes on a piece of parchment or a piece of cloth or something like that. And whenever they cast a spell, that piece of cloth, parchment, cloth, paper, whatever, gets burned up by casting the spell.
To further your point, you can even argue that since different casters cast spells in different ways, some are prepared, some are spontaneous.
Yeah.
That there could be that also tells that there are different ways of approaching magic. Like a sorcerer casts spontaneously. Yeah. Well, usually in D&D or Pathfinder and whatnot, the sorcerer has gained their magic through their bloodline and whatnot. So they have mastered their magic not through study as a wizard, but through actual intuition and kind of like attuning themselves to like the weave and whatnot.
Yeah, it's spellcasting through experience and practice over spellcasting through theory. Is the way I would say it. But getting back to the topic at hand, with the video games, is that you have all these different modes of storytelling available to you in a video game. You also have like this more cinematic stuff with cutscenes and things like that, where you can where you can take control of the camera a little bit and show the player, or if you're really good at, or if you're better at your job, you get the player to do that for you. You create something that draws the player's attention, and then you can show them what's going on, the thing that you want to show them.
Whichever way you go in video games, one of the key components for the storytelling has got to be atmosphere.
Yeah, definitely.
Did they keep like the verbal material somatic on the spells in the later editions?
5e does have it, yeah.
Yeah, they do have components.
That was one of the things that I paid a lot of attention to with my 2nd edition character, because he was a multi-class fighter mage, and so he would pick spells that were fast to cast and only required verbal and or somatic components. Mostly, and so that way he wouldn't have to be in a sword fight and then trying to figure out where's the material component.
Yeah.
Abracadabra, I cast bullets.
I cast belly full of lead.
I might be out of spells, but I'm not out of shells, motherfucker.
100%.
I summon Chuck Norris.
And I am trying very hard not to go into a rant that always seems to get triggered whenever we start talking about like spellcasting and D&D and similar RPGs. But yeah, the thing is with video games, you have access to all these modes of storytelling, and you can use them to craft a very compelling narrative. And telling a story like through the atmosphere, through the vibes of the game and stuff like that, that's primarily how you set the tone of the game. Or at least that's how I think you would set the tone of the game.
You know what I think video games serve for storytelling better than most others is epistolary.
Okay, that's a word I have heard. I do not know it off the top of my head.
Okay, it's a
Religious
story
thing?
that's told through a series of journal entries, newspaper clippings,
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that. And video games, I think, are the best medium for epistolary stories.
They are, and a large part of it is, especially like in a more free flowing open world game. That's one of the things that 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 I think adds a lot to it because it rewards exploration and going out and finding these things. And honestly, that's kind of what I was getting at. That's kind of how I think Minecraft tells whatever story the developers have going on, that they provide hints of, and that they're implicitly telling, instead of explicitly telling the story, they're implicitly telling the story through like the stuff, through like the things that are generated in the world.
Yeah, you almost sometimes you got to be a detective to put it all together, but when you gather up all the pieces, all of a sudden it fills in all the gaps, and you see this entire story that happened. I mean, it's not the one that's happening right now, but it is the setting. It's almost like you've learned the prologue or something, or the history, and when you put it all together, it's like people love lore digging for a reason. There's something rewarding about putting it together.
Yeah, and honestly, that's one of the things that's kind of fun about Skyrim. I mean, I only put like 100 hours into the game, 100 or so hours. But one of the things I did enjoy was like picking up the books and reading them.
Yeah. Now you'll probably find this funny because I've heard of Skyrim many times, but I never played it. And for the longest time, I thought it was a sci-fi. I didn't know it was a fantasy because I could hear Skyrim, and I'm thinking you're in this this city that's launched above the clouds on thrusters or something, and
no,
and
Skyrim
it's a fantasy setting. I'm like, oh, I'm way off.
Honestly, that setting sounds really awesome, like a city in the sky. That's and it that would actually make for an excellent open world game setting, because it's not an infinite thing. You don't have to worry about creating like a whole bunch of other things. You just worry about the city, and everything you create adds more depth to the city.
Yeah. Kind of like what was it, Brio? I'm trying to remember the name of the planet. In Metroid Prime 3, it was called Sky City on the planet. And what it was in the upper atmosphere of a gas giant.
I mean, we're basically talking about Bespin from Star Wars.
Linda's place.
Yeah, Lando's place that unfortunately got taken over by the Empire.
Aaron from Immortal Rising comic book says it's an interactive experience. Nothing else does that.
Yeah. It is truly an interactive. Well, okay, I do have to quibble with them on one thing. TTRPGs do interactive storytelling.
Well, game setting in general, not just straight video, but
but
whenever we talk about video games, we seem to flip back and forth a lot between video and TTRPG quite a bit. It's just that they kind of go hand in hand and cross over quite a bit.
Although I will say this, TTRPGs do, I think, allow for a lot more. Well, by their very nature, TTRPGs allow for a lot more freedom than video games. But to give you an idea of like the interactivity of it, so I was so I'm in a 5e game that's being run by like one of the guys in my online group, and we get together on the weekends and we play, and he runs a game, and he's been running a 5e game on the last weekend of every month. And last night was when we were running the game. When we first started, I told him that my character was well, because this is probably going to clear up a little bit of information and also get all y'all to yell at me. It's based in Tal'Dorei, Critical Role's setting, for like the first 3 campaigns. And specifically, we were the way it started out was we were monster hunters, and shenanigans happened. They want to get involved in the mob. But my character was a runaway from Jorhas. She was a drow. She's a drow. And she, all the background I gave the GM when I was creating the character was, she's shy. She's not good at talking with people. She's a guide. She hides really well, and stealthy, and she can do some magic.
Usually you see that more out of the males from the drow.
Yeah, well, the reason she's where she is because she's running away from home because her cousin did something and framed her for it because they look a lot alike.
Yeah, Immortal Rising says TTRPG is superior in my opinion. Theater of the Mind is the ultimate interactive.
It is, and it really is. One of the things Jerry Jenkins says in like his stuff, his courses is, if you can engage the reader's imagination, you've won as a writer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
as far as TTRPG being superior, as far as versatility in Theater of the Mind, absolutely. However, if you're looking for something a little more kinetic, then video games is what you're hankering for at that moment.
Yeah,
I would also argue sometimes video games you can have like a more emotional, intimate impact. Also, to kind of expand the conversation, I would argue that video games there are stories unique to video games or experiences unique to video games, and I'd like to, if you would humor me, I would like to list off a few different games that I've played that have offered these unique experiences.
Yeah, go for it.
First one that came to mind was Hotline Miami. I felt like I was on cocaine. I've never done cocaine, but that game is so vast, so fast, so visceral, so incredibly extreme in all the moves that you're doing, second by second. It creates this adrenaline rush that I haven't gotten in pretty much any other game.
So I played Ace Combat 4, 5, and 0 a lot when I was in junior high and high school. And Ace Combat 5, the second to last mission, for the last part of it, you have to go flying into this tunnel, and there are cranes and all these other obstacles in the way, along with doors and things like that. So you're flying like at Mach 1 through this tunnel, trying not to hit anything while the missile alert's going off behind. The missile alert's going off. You got bullets flying past your plane. Playing missions like that in Ace Combat, where it is hard, and if you slip up, if you mess up for even like a split second, it's all over, and you got to do it all over again. It really gets the heart pumping. It is almost. It's probably the closest you'll ever come to flying in a combat aircraft as a civilian.
Like, I've never played that, but I would totally agree. That sounds like it would give me an adrenaline rush that I've never seen.
Oh yeah, it is definitely an adrenaline rush, and I have never had that same experience with the TTRPG, and I don't think it can really do it unless you have like a phenomenal GM, like a GM who is that good of a storyteller.
Like, I don't even know if Matt Mercer or Brandon Lee Mulligan could do something that good.
Yeah, and
those guys are fantastic. Like, I don't care whether or not you like Critical Role. Matt Mercer is a good DM.
Yeah, I think he is too, and I think one of the reasons he is a good DM is because he involves all of his players.
Right, but to list a few more, Subnautica, you can really feel like the fear of like the vastness of the sea and of oceans, and just being on a strange alien planet that's only available in a video game format.
Yeah.
The Outer Wilds, that game is without really telling exactly what it's about. It's a game about exploration, and it does it very uniquely. And it's one of the games where it really makes you feel like you're on this journey trying on this journey exploring this setting.
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of Dwarf Fortress?
Yes. I've never played it, but I've heard it.
Okay. Boat murdered. If you have never heard about the story of that,
no, I have Dwarf Fortress. I've played a couple of games of them.
Yeah. From everything, I have played it a few times. I have never gotten that far into it. I've never gotten far enough to have a fort actually go under.
Well, the interesting thing about Dwarf Fortress is it's not the game, that's the story.
Yeah.
So they even there used to be a saying that the end user of Dwarf Fortress is not the player. It's the people who would listen to the stories that the player would tell.
Yeah.
Because so much stuff was going on in the game, because it's more of a simulation than a game. There's no end goal. You're not striving to achieve something that's preset in the game. You're setting your own goals in the context of a simulation. And the thing about it is you can go inside the dwarves' heads. You can hear their feelings. They go about their day. They have their own motivations and relationships with other dwarves. And what would happen to those dwarves, the players would come back and tell stories about them. They'd write stories, they'd draw illustrations about it, they'd do YouTube videos. And this was in the early days where there was no UI to Dwarf Fortress. Like, it was all ASCII games. And then people would come in and watch the videos and listen to the stories and then get it. And it was really a secondhand, it was a story tool. So you weren't living the story, you'd be creating something. Total simulation.
And that was and that's another form of storytelling that you don't really get from any other medium, is something like that.
I think somebody was playing that on this stream like a year or two ago, and they had this one female dwarf on there that kept, like, as long as he kept feeding her alcohol, she kept doing what he was trying to instruct her to do.
Yeah.
Hey, it sounds like real life. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I mean, the wino mom is a thing for a reason. But yeah,
and
it's. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and just a few other quick examples. Nier Automata, the entire game, I think that narrative only works as a video game with all the different viewpoints and perspectives and whatnot, and all the different mechanics. But that one's a little tough to go into because it talks a lot about like philosophy, and there's just a lot to that story. Cyberpunk 2077, despite it not being the best game, I think the beginning where Jackie Wells dies, the first time I played that intro part, that like kind of like tutorial part, I actually played Corpo. And so what happens is you're a Corpo goon and you basically get backstabbed. Everything's taken from you, and then Jackie Wells helps you into a new life, one of crime, but he basically saves you at your lowest point. And then on this mission, where basically if you guys succeed, that would be the final mission you guys would ever have to go on, because that would lead to like the biggest payday ever. He dies.
Mm-hmm.
He dies fighting for, the good life. And it really impacted me the first time I went through that. And to be fully transparent, I think a TTRPGs could do such a narrative. But I think only if you were doing like one-on-one, like a GM and a player, I think you could absolutely do that sort of
one-on-one or a very small group, like 2, maybe 3 players tops.
Yeah,
and they all have to be on the same page about like what the game's about, why we're playing.
Like it would have to be a serious tone from the get-go.
Yeah, and I think, and that's one thing that I think is the strength of video games. But on the flip side, going back to Ace Combat 5, it can also, because of like all the things that are going on, you can also wind up with situations where it's just like, wow, that was dumb. So, spoilers for a 20-year-old game. Apologies if you have not played it.
How could you?
Yes, I am a monster.
Which game are you going to spoil? I haven't played games 20 years ago. So
Ace Combat 5, and I'm not spoiling the end, but I am spoiling something that happens towards like the midpoint. So one of the missions that you're doing is you're doing like this. You're doing like this flyover for this political rally during after having a lot of success, like affecting the outcome of the war with one of the other nations. And after you do the flyover, rally gets attacked, and you're having to fight. Well, one of your wingmen, because this was like one of the selling points of the game, was that you had wingmen that you could actually get commands to and have help fight beside you. To be honest, that was mostly useless. but they one of your wingmen gets hit and his plane's basically dying in the air, and he's looking for a safe place to land. And one of the things about this map that this mission takes place on is that in the city there's this big river that flows through it and right by the stadium. Instead of ditching the plane in the river to prevent civilian casualties and all that stuff, what he winds up doing is he winds up plowing the plane into the middle of the soccer field in the stadium.
Oof.
And because he's waiting for civilians to evacuate and stuff like that, that way he doesn't harm them, it gets to the point where he can't eject. So it was one of those things where if you don't pay attention to the map, it is poignant and it is heart-wrenching. If you pay attention to the map, it turns into something stupid and needless.
Turns into a big wet plot hole.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People used to not worry about spoilers in video games. In fact, a lot of games, because we didn't have the internet and stuff yet, things were meant to be discussed on the schoolyard. It was like where everybody found something different in a game and they'd tell each other about it. Now it's up. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. We don't want spoilers. Because, stories in the games have grown so much since then because they used to be very simplistic for the most part.
Isn't the first spoilers in a game Metroid? Metroid was a real big one.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about that one.
Yeah, and then when people were talking about it, half the kids at school were like, oh, no, that's not true.
What about Zelda? Oh. The original Zelda.
The original Zelda.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Nice.
James left. Oh, geez. Did I scare him off?
One of us did. But so I have mixed opinions on about spoilers. On the one hand, I don't like having stories spoiled for me if I'm gonna watch them, but on the other hand, I also think that if a story is well written, spoilers shouldn't matter.
I agree. I don't mind spoilers at all. I mean, some people like to just experience it raw the first time.
Well, that's the thing. If
And
it's well written, you want to get that first
To me,
experience right. You don't want that taken away from you.
Yeah, to me, spoilers is usually what interests me in a story rather than the other way around. What's going on, James?
All is well. Very poignant conversations as I am late because I had to stop by Uranus for broadcasting the third act of Lord of the Rings. So we went down there to their overpopulated planet to alleviate them of their issues.
Was it nuclear, biological, or chemical?
That's none of your business, human. Let's just say you'll find out soon enough.
The Puganians ate Taco Bell.
Don't you dare call us that. The last civilization to call us that turned out, let's just say Mars used to look a lot like Earth.
Honestly, I'd be more impressed if it was Venus.
Animation Overload, good to see you. He says sup.
Hail animation.
I respect anyone who says sup because I do the same.
Sup. Now respect me, dang it.
Hail. Frederick, I sent you something via DM. Go check that out.
Let me check that
out. While Frederick's checking that out, going back to the thing that I was trying to talk about before. So with that character, the only thing I told the GM was like, yeah, she's a runaway. Her cousin framed her for something. Well, the GM built this whole story around that, and that's actually what the cousin did. Well, this isn't really spoilers. So she grabbed this religious artifact, is what she stole, and framed my character for it. And then on top of that, she's trying to do this ritual where she's going to turn herself into a Drider demon thingy. Because she's a worshiper of Loth, and Drow in this setting don't really worship Loth because, well, bad things happened way back when. And then we get to last night's session, and that's when I found out that my character is nobility, minor nobility, but nobility. And she was going to get betrothed to somebody.
Oh,
whoops!
Oh,
I had nothing to do with that. It was fun. It was a fun session.
Like, did you and the GM plan anything, or was that just total surprise?
That was a total surprise for me.
Were you like okay with that, or?
Oh yeah. I was like, dude, take this and run with it. And I think that's one of the things. And that kind of if you'll allow me to segue into a completely different topic, I think that's one of the reasons why players should be willing to allow their GMs a lot more freedom with their characters and stuff like that, because it is supposed to be collaborative storytelling. And this was much better than something I would have come up with off the top of my head at the beginning of this game.
I would say to a point, but then again, I'm kind of talking out of my backside because I don't DM games, so I don't truly know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it has to be a good GM. And thankfully, the guy who is a good GM.
I would also argue like the player also has to submit some form of backstory.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And
I thought you were going to end that sentence that the player has to submit.
Well, the player does have to submit.
I mean,
we have to relinquish control at some point.
We can make that the next discussion if you guys want about the player DM relationship. But it is the top of the hour, and Frederick has something to show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do. Let me bring it up. It's got it right here. Booyah! This is it. There she blows.
Yeah,
nice. A little website I've been working on since Christmas time. Basically started as a campaign calendar, so creators could like figure out who's doing what when, and so they wouldn't step on each other. Like like we see here on the 18th of February. You got to close out by Nostradamus Effect and Orium Saga #2. So having a calendar like this allows people to, predict when other people are going to be starting their campaigns and kind of like work around that and strategize a little bit. But that was just like the impetus. So when you say campaign, by definition, you're talking about books, and which led me to have like this page here, which like, hold on, do I have to, I thought I fixed this.
Wait, so are you selling Cyberfrog
Here we go.
on your website, or?
No, I'm not selling anything. This is just like a catalog of all the stuff. So basically, if you're new to this and you want to find out about it, you can click on it. You learn who's contributing to the project, right? It's mostly Ethan, who's the colorist. Kyle Ritter's the colorist. You got Eric Weathers on the lettering, editors, all those sorts of notes. And when you have multiple covers, you can also see the multiple covers. I only have one of this one, but let me get one that has multiple covers. Like the Glorious Rex one is a good example because it's got multiple covers. You can go into it, see like all 4 covers.
Some of them apparently have to be censored.
Yeah,
I didn't even
saw the
censor
black
this.
bar.
This is like I'm too French for censorship, but this was this was pulled from his campaign. So unfortunately, I could have like put it through Grok and say, Grok, uncensor this for me.
Yeah.
And but the good thing is it also gives you like the links to the campaigns, right? This one's closed, but you can have a lot of factual information.
Oh,
It's it's
So
called
it's more of
Comicsgater because it's like the focus is Comicsgate, but Comicsgate is like this nebulous thing as well. Like you don't have like card
It's like
carrying
Gamergate.
members. So I mean, some people will outright call themselves Comicsgate. Some people kind of navigate the space but don't use the moniker. But there's people who like worked on Comicsgate books, so they're in the credits, so they're on the site. Like Irene used to be a Comicsgater, but she doesn't identify as that anymore. But she's done covers for the people, so naturally she's in there, and you can see her books and all that. So it's a way of discovering artists and books and projects, and then match those two with campaigns.
It sounds like
an old-fashioned portal site.
Yeah, I think that's about a good word, portal. Haven't heard that name in a long time, but of course nowadays everyone does the promo through shows, so you have like all the list of shows with the creators. And this is my show tomorrow night.
Nice.
And the fun thing is you can even have like you see the guests. Like this is last week's episode. We had Aaron on, Chris Fisk, Patrick Quinlan. You click on Aaron C's. And you see, oh my goodness, Aaron, you got a tiny little avatar there.
Yep, and he says he'll be updating his info soon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And this is the one he dropped today, Immortal Rising #3.
Oh man.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's one of those ones that I could look at for a while.
Well, yeah. I
It's
think
funny.
if you're into TTRPGs, if you're into Dungeons and Dragons, you're really going to like this because this all came about from a role-playing game. Like this is him, Aaron, and his friends. The stories they came up with on the TTRPG file. Let me just like.
And it turned into a really cool story he's been telling from 2 perspectives throughout the thing. You got the main party, and then he ends up flipping over to like the cosmic side where it involves the gods, where they're involved in the same struggle, but at the higher end. Yeah. So you're seeing the same conflict happening from 2 very different perspectives.
So it kind of sounds like it's in the same spiritual vein as like a Record of Lodos War, where it was the whole story was based off of a campaign that the author's friends were all in. The author and his friends were in.
Yeah, I mean that was the same with Chris Fisk as well. Like they both kind of like it's something that I hear more and more. Like it really is a source of stories, which is funny because we were talking about storytelling in games, and stories can, like, they're pretty much alive when you're telling a story through a video game, right? Because you're making it up as you're playing it, right?
Yeah.
In collaboration with whoever created the game, but your interpretation, your choices, kind of make it up. And especially with the TTRPG, you've got total creativity, and then what's done in collaboration can then have a final form in a book, in a comic, in a movie, all these things.
Yeah, and
Aaron says yes. Record of Lotus War is a fair comparison.
Yeah, actually one of the more the guy did that did another one. It's called Record of the Grand Crest War, I think is the title.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's another fun one.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was the same
The
person.
series was gorgeous, and unfortunately, it's not really available to stream anywhere unless you want to go sailing on the seven seas.
But who would do that? Nobody, Warlock.
No, nobody, none of us here would do that. Of
I've never sailed the seven seas.
That was Chris Fisk's comic right there.
Another example of of like a tabletop game that turned into a story like 20 years later.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like a lot of times, like if you got like good players who are decent writers, you can get most of my tabletop RPGs have been through play by post on Python's forums, and if you do have like good players, they can tell a story that is just as compelling as like something you would get from like a professional author, and a lot of it's emergent from how the characters are and the setup.
Aaron says, I need a Corey Barton cover on Comics Gator.
Well, that's the thing, Aaron. You got to send me those covers. I'll upload them, or you can just sign up and you can upload them yourself. So the way it works is I've created a bunch of creator pages, and they're out there. I'm the one that's kind of, moderators can edit them. I'm as the site admin. I built them up. But you can come in as a user and claim it. So it's the same with IMDb, right? Except mine's free.
Yeah. Animation Overload says it's on Crunchyroll.
The sub's on Crunchyroll. I'm one of those dirty dub watchers.
Oh, God.
Sorry about that, Frederick. Go ahead.
I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry.
About the users being able to come in. It's like IMDb, except free.
Oh, yeah. So basically, if you go on a creator who hasn't claimed it yet, like Aaron Opresti, it's a good one. Oh, I have to sign up to see the button thing. But you'll see, like, if you sign up, you'll see a different interface. Well, you'll see buttons pop up and you'll have a claim button here. And you can claim one creator. Like, obviously, you're not more than one creator. Then once you've claimed it, Peter's an example of somebody who's claimed it, and he's just like built up his whole credits here. He got all his books. Jack the Ripper, you've got inker, colorist, letterer. He does everything. Editor. He's a host. He's done guest appearances. So he's really filled out his whole credits page.
Jack the Ripper, vampire. Okay, that is an interesting take on that.
Yeah. So this is Peter's cover on Gemshock. So Peter's probably the most active on the site so far.
I don't know why, but I'm so interested in this character now.
Oh.
Perv.
Yeah.
We want one quick question. Has Kenneth Rocafort, has he claimed it, or
no? He hasn't claimed it. He's on here, so
no. It's just because I bought Groken mostly because of the art, because the art's fantastic.
Yeah, there's 3 Grokens, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
I think he's working on 4.
Oh, nice. So I only have 1 that's been listed, so I need to go add 2 and 3. And whatever he wants to claim it, he can just come in and claim the page, and he can update it himself. I've got the first campaign here, raised $85,000, which brings us to the leaderboard here. So I've got all the campaigns are kind of separated into active campaigns, which are ongoing right now. And then you got the storefronts, So campaigns with no end date is what I categorize as a storefront. And some of them are on multiple sites as well. I added that yesterday, so super thrilled to have that working. And these are the all-time. So all-time is basically campaigns that have already ended. So you can no longer order from these, but they're listed.
I am trying very, very hard not to go full nerd and start asking you about like how you built this thing, what you're running it on, and all that other stuff that nobody cares
running
about
it on the internet.
This is a Next.js. So basically it's off of evolution of React, which is what Facebook was built on.
So it all runs on JavaScript.
Yeah, it's all JavaScript. So everything you have a lot of things that update live, it's got a Supabase database using their authenticator. And I love JavaScript. I'm a front end developer, so I've always loved working with JavaScript.
I've done. Hey, I should go in and claim my my creator title for that.
This is another warlock. So there's a warlock in the Comicsgate space, which is kind of a nod to Wizard magazine. I don't know if you guys are too young for that, but in the 90s there was a Wizard magazine which would cover all sorts of stories of what was happening in the day, mostly Marvel, DC, and Image stuff.
Yeah,
but pretty much everything. And
young for that.
Yeah, but one of the fun things is they had a top 10. So every issue, every month, they'd say, okay, well, here are the top 10 artists, right? So Warlock does the same thing for the indie creators in the comic space. So he comes out with his own top 10. And I've compiled like over a year of stuff, and you can like animate the history of it and see like from month to month. So January, February, and it updates here with GSAP animations. And you could see just the evolution of people who've like kind of like made their mark on the space throughout the year, which is fun little gimmick. And if you go look at the Rising Hotshots, you'll see some familiar faces here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, number 6.
Oh, Lit Dev.
Literature Devil, yeah.
One of the things, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with things like React and Angular, but mainly because at my old job, I had to, I took over running a site that was built on Angular, and when I did and actually looked at what was going on with it, I was like, why did you build this on Angular? It would have made so much more sense to build this using WordPress or something else. And the answer I got was the plan was to have like a more interactive app.
Yeah, because WordPress is kind of like, it can basically, it's on load when you request from the server, the page builds itself, unless it's cached. Whereas these JavaScript pages can refresh. Basically, I don't know. I don't think I've implemented yet, but if you were going to say you were going to add a book to the site and someone else was looking at the books, it could update while he was looking at the books. You could have one of the new book would just pop up in his face, like.
Yeah, but they weren't using it for that or doing anything with that or anything like that. It was pretty much they could have built it as a static website, and it would have not functioned any differently.
Well, my website is nothing but static.
Yeah. Well,
Work wanted us to update our design to be more modern, and they wanted to know if it would be easy to just move it over to React, and it's like all Angular. Tons of logic.
Yeah. It, like I said, it's one of those things. Most of the sites I've worked on and stuff like that have been either built in Joomla or WordPress. So that's what I have the most experience with. And
Frederick, what has the Comicsgate community at large thought of the website? What's the general reaction?
Yes, please spare everybody from my ramblings.
Yeah, so it's been incredibly positive, like super good. Some people are just like going really like, wow, this is cool. A lot of Liam here that we've got on the site, the author of
Yeah,
Dino King, took the time on his stream last week and talked about the book, talked about the project for like over half an hour. And I clipped it on my page. I'm thinking of putting it on the front page as kind of like an intro to it. But most people are absolutely thrilled about it.
Excellent.
Like I was mentioning, Peter Gilmore has gone in and started putting all of his stuff into it. Sean Salter, same thing. He's like super excited. A lot of people are mentioning that old sites that used to be around that have like been abandoned.
Yeah.
And that there's kind of a void in the space for this kind of, because there's no one place to go and learn about who are the creators, what are the books. You kind of like navigate from show to show on YouTube, and you can follow the conversations on Twitter, but there's no like one place where you can like discover all these creators, all these artists. So this kind of fills a void that just came from the fact that there was a big lack of calendar. So what was it, November, I think, October or November, John Malin and Graham Nolan, there was like this uncomfortable confrontation like through the shows where one would get upset at the other, like, why are you doing your opening on my closeout date? Like, we're cutting our revenue in half. Because, you should have, there was this whole question, well, we should have a calendar, right? That
now there is one.
Well, I didn't think I would be the one to do it at the time.
You're the chosen one.
The more I thought about it, the more I was like, I could totally build this,
Yeah, I like it too, because like, as a avid purchaser of comics, especially recently, this is great for me to be able to shop around the indie sphere and the self-publishing sphere, because that's kind of who I want to support,
Yeah, and having an aggregate site like this has probably got to make things a lot easier for everybody else when it comes to marketing as well.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's two people that are kind of like happy to see this. So people who have shows like ours, who are like, well, who do I invite if I want to have a guest on? You can look at the calendar and say, well, this guy's campaign is coming up next week. Let me see. Reach out to him.
Yeah.
You go through his page. You got his Twitter. You got his this and that. And there's everything you need to get in touch with people. And at the same time, well, people who are starting out and have campaigns, they're like, well, how do I get the word out there? Like, how do I let people know that and if you have it in one centralized place, like a calendar, and everyone comes through it, they'll see, oh, this guy's next week. What is this? And you click on it and you have the link to his campaign instantly. And everyone can get familiarized with what's out there, what's coming up.
Yeah, honestly, I could see this expanding into other things, like when people are appearing on different shows and that kind of thing.
Well,
funny you should mention that.
Funny you should mention that, because I have a shows tab.
Yeah. Oh,
and you have.
Oh, hello, Fifth and Sink. It would have bit me.
Right. So this is our show here. Me and Patrick, and of course Carbon on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time here. Added the suite. That's why I'm sort of like underlining it. And you can even see like who the guest was on the show. So 2 weeks ago we had Charlie Clark, and a month ago we had Ryan Dubé. So you can click, oh, well, who's Ryan, right? Click, oh, he's writer on the Nephilim. What is the Nephilim? This comic over here. And you can see all his credits here, of course, and you can see all his guest appearances on his own page. Nice. So he was a guest here on the Commandos on our show, but he was also on Good Morning Comics Geek. And the show is the site is just getting started, so the data's not there yet.
Yeah.
But we're starting to build it out. And well, what's this comic? You can click on the comic. You can get a little bit more. You can see multiple covers.
So if you want to find out if you're missing like a cover that you really want,
well, that's another aspect of it too, because one of the big things about indie books is they're very much sold to collectors, and there's a big thing with multiple covers and things like that. So it's nice to be able to see them all in one place. And there's the campaign. You want to see the campaign, you click on it. I think, it opens in another tab, which can you guys see it? Oh, no, you can't see it because it's in another tab.
Yeah.
But you could get straight into the campaign. You can order it and you can hit like here. I'm not logged in right now, but that's kind of the gist of it. And next thing I want to do is kind of in that same vein, James, is have kind of a talent pool, right? So
Ooh.
people who are pencilers, inkers, well, it's in the indie sphere, it's the same thing. Like, I don't know of anyone who's penciling and not inking, except
Humans
like
worthy of the
Later,
upcoming
man.
yeah, having like a talent pool, like who's out there that you can hire. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's lots of artists who are just looking for work. And
Have
they're
a great night, animation.
That's good, and you don't want to hire the woke.
Well, that's the thing, is that this space is mainly people who are kind of like conservative, have conservative values. It's not a guarantee, of course. Like,
They're the kind of people who are more likely to, who are probably less likely to cut you off just because you have different viewpoints too, probably.
yeah, I think so. Like, that's, I mean, the Comicsgate kind of spans out of creators who were canceled from the big two, and the big two are highly liberal. Like, you have to be, like, you cannot speak about your politics. Even if you're like, don't join in with their politics, it's already a red flag, the fact that you're just not joining in with them. So, like, Shane Davis, right? He got canceled because he posted a picture on Facebook of him with a MAGA bus behind him. Nothing more than that. Just one picture and with a bus. That was enough to get him canceled off of, was it Marvel or DC? I think he was working with Marvel at the time.
Yeah.
And now he's doing like his own thing, Inglorious Rex. This is the guy who censored himself here, which is a shame.
And there are guys who got shadow banned too. Like, I can't remember which comic it was. I was trying to look it up. I couldn't find it. If I went there and searched in the crowdfunding site, it would not come up. But if I had a direct link, I could get there. It was still there. It just wouldn't come up in their search.
Yeah, I think that's kind of died down. Hopefully it has. I haven't heard about shadow banning in a while. But yeah, Kickstarter and Indiegogo, I think mostly Kickstarter was known for shadow banning. So,
yeah, well, Indiegogo also got known for it, I think, at some point.
They just got bought off, though, so it's a new new ownership, but they have different problems now because they redid the whole interface, so people are upset because they can't find their stuff in one place that like they used to.
Yeah, that's one of the things about web design is, like, on the one hand, people get used to it and they know where to go, but on the other hand, sometimes sometimes it genuinely does need to change because it's unintuitive. It's hard to find stuff and things like that if you don't know the interface. But if you do change it to where it is more intuitive, the people who already know it are going to have to relearn it because now things are in different places. And I mean, that's one of the reasons people don't like change is they don't like being frustrated by, like, okay, I thought it was here. It's not here. Now I got to go find it all over again. It's interrupting their flow.
I feel the same way when companies change the label on their products. You go to the store, you're trying to grab another one, and it's like, where'd they go? And they're right in front of you.
Oh yeah, there's that, but and yeah, there's websites that do that too, where they change stuff to be changing stuff, and that is what's really annoying. Honestly, it's kind of like the whole Windows 11 thing. It's like, why Windows 10 was good.
You get an update and suddenly your user interface isn't the way it's supposed to be anymore.
Yeah, or even worse, they change settings. And it's like, okay, now I got to go back in and fix all this crap because I don't want all. I don't want my operating system to be an ad service to me. but this what you got here, Frederick, I honestly, from everything I've heard, it is a great website, and I hope that it takes off because I think we need more websites like this, where it's a place for people to find each other, find creators and things like that. Because one of the things that I think we are seeing, especially with social media, is that it's getting harder and harder and harder for people in niches like this to break out.
Yeah, well, speaking of artists that can break out.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. Better, stronger, faster.
Welcome, Herman P. Hunter, The Hedge.
Hello.
Hey, Herman.
Hey,
Herman.
Herman.
Hope you're feeling better, man.
The Herms.
The hedge never changes. The hedge is forever.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a great website. I'm going to browse it, see whose comic books are available for purchase.
Yeah, I'm
If
going to
it-
keep
in my
adding
head.
stuff as well.
Now,
Yeah.
question for you, Frederick. I really don't know how involved things like this are. Now that you have pretty much set up,
Yes.
can you replicate that and do it for other mediums as well? Or is that like starting all over again?
Probably starting all over again. You've got everything from the branding, and this is like super adapted to the space. So kind of like everything
Gotcha.
flows from the calendar.
Yeah.
So it's all about crowdfunding comic book artists.
Because I was wondering if you could like, now that you have it, pretty much, replicate the bones and set it up for indie developers of video games or indie prose novels and stuff like that, or musicians. I didn't know if that's like you got to do the whole thing again, or if you can pretty much.
I mean, you
copy
could
the
adapt
structure,
it, but
paste.
the real truth is it's probably more work to adapt something than to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
One of the things about software development is that it's really easy to design something where it works for that specific use case.
Yeah.
It takes a lot more forethought and planning in order to design something that's more generalized.
Did you ever think about adding in forums to this?
That would be a nightmare.
Yeah, I haven't thought of that. Like the next step would probably be like a classified section or talent section, like I was mentioning. People want to have their portfolio up there, and the next step is just marking you available for commissions and things like that. Because there's so many. These are
that was huge.
Yeah, these are artists. Like half of them hate the other half, and like I might need a page to show like who's mad at who and who to not invite on your stream if you're inviting this one.
Have like one of those one of
The
those
drama
relationship
forums.
webs that you see on like some a lot of these world building apps and novel writing apps where it's like, hey, you can map out your characters' relationships and stuff like that, except it's all the artists.
Like Campfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like Campfire, World Amble, that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's feuds, there's active feuds, there's old feuds, so Forbes is probably a terrible idea. I mean, because most of the conversations are happening on YouTube and Twitter, to be honest. So might as well stay there. And it's kind of nice to have this space that's a neutral ground as well, because one of the concerns people have is, are you going to like censor people? Are you going to like pick and choose who's could be on there? And so far it's such an anti-censorship community that I'm like,
no commies.
I'm going to leave people. The only people I'm not going to put on there is like people who actively hate Comicsgate, and like they're like, oh, I hate them. Or like, well, you should probably not be on this site. But if you're an indie developer and you're in the space, because there's no definitive line in the sand, right? Because there's people who have shows, they invite people who make comics. Not everyone uses the label. And we're always looking for interesting comics that are being made and not necessarily a cult, which you need a person to believe everything that you believe. We're just looking for good books.
Yeah.
So it's a loose collection of indie creators, and the core, the magnet at the center is the Comicsgate space, but it's not a line in the sand or anything. So there's people that hate each other that are both on the site, and there's people I dislike that I don't think very highly of, and I still put them on the site. So it's more about, have you contributed to the space? Are you active in the space? Are you promoting people and making good stuff?
You say it's not a cult. You know there's some nut job somewhere bowing down to a long box on an altar.
You're wrong. The long box is the altar. Right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Herman says, having my sorbet cup before my antibiotic drip, then I'm off to bed. Just got free from the ER ICU. Does that mean you're home, or are you just in a regular room now? I think he's trying to speed.
No,
run
he's
the
free from the
hospital
emergency room, so he's probably like
in a
like
regular room.
in a regular room,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, especially if they're giving him an antibiotic drip.
Yeah, you don't.
Let's be
you
honest,
don't-
Herman. You're just trying to one up Mike, aren't you?
Wait, what the hell happened to the hedge? Holy shit!
He ran into some trimmers. Yeah,
Ooh.
he overdid himself shoveling snow, and he's in a regular room.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pushed himself a little too hard, and his body said nope.
Oh shit.
Yeah, ouch.
I mean, I'm glad he's
Yeah,
doing
well-
better.
Get well soon, buddy. I know that is not fun.
Yeah.
But just to clarify, the reason I'm saying, oh, that would be a nightmare, had nothing to. Granted, moderating a forum would be a nightmare, especially when you got like people with very strong personalities that do not get along. I was talking about it from a purely technical perspective.
Yeah, I would not want that job, but it's
Yeah.
a job somebody has to do.
Yeah,
Because unfortunately, human beings, well, as awesome as human beings are, we're also human beings, so we're going to be dumb stuff.
yeah. I mean, not all of us are going to get along. I mean, there's people I don't get along with all over the place, and I've learned to be okay with that because I'm going to be honest, I'm a bit of a people pleaser. Like I don't like people being mad at me or upset with me.
I mean, me neither. But sometimes you're just like, fuck you. Like, I don't know.
Well, and that's one of the things I've had to learn is like, you know what? Not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay.
That sounds like a great story for a comic. We'll call it The Angry Enabler.
The angry enabler. Oh gosh, but the thing
It's going to be a dramedy.
yeah. But one of the things about like,
I didn't censor this one either.
yeah. One of the things you have to realize about like forums and things like that is they are incredibly, for something that seems fairly simple, they are incredibly complex because
Yeah, I wouldn't want to program that in JavaScript.
yeah. And besides that, you have to worry about, you have to be even more conscious of user security.
Because of the messaging, yeah.
Because of the messaging and things like that. And I mean, it would be a little bit less. I think it'd probably be a little bit less of a concern with you because you already have a sign-in, so that's something that you're already have to have on your radar.
Yeah.
But trying to add in a forum, it would probably be easier instead of trying to do it yourself to find an off-the-shelf solution and just style it to match the website.
Yeah, and I hadn't even thought about it before you mentioned it because I have no need for it. No one's asked for it. I don't think it's a need.
And that's the other thing is like, is there a need for a forum?
No, these are all people that, first, you're talking about artists. They are flamboyant and they get their message out on YouTube.
And they could probably put links to their Twitter accounts if they want to do that stuff.
And well, all the Twitter and YouTube accounts that was the first things that were on the creator page, right?
Yeah.
So, Irene's not an example. Well, I mean, Irene, she is an example of that. She's not Comicscape per se, but like her Twitter's here, her YouTube's here, and her homepage is here for her project. So I've also added like Instagram and Rumble after the fact, but the core happens on Twitter and YouTube. I don't think any of these people use forums. I've never heard anyone mention a forum ever in this space.
I remember using the BBSs; those were fun.
Yeah, me too. Like I was going through forums like in the early aughts. Was spending all my time in forums, but that was before YouTube was such a thing, and I think that's where people have their conversations now is on YouTube.
Yeah, on social media platforms like X, Twitter, YouTube, Blue Sky. Yeah.
I agree with you on the Blue Sky, but here's the thing. I made an account there anyway. Why? Because maybe some of them want to buy books too, so I'll put my stuff up there.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. I think wasn't it Michael Jordan said Republicans buy shoes too?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, but
but just the right ones.
Yeah, but it's Oh, that was terrible.
I know that was the worst thing. I'll see
terrible.
myself out.
Please do not make me break out the crow pun joke I've got.
Herman said back spasm leads to gallbladder meltdown, leads to ER visit.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fun.
This is something that you wouldn't find in the mainstream, this Black Riding Hood. And James, you have to get this one. He's launching another campaign Sunday because it's closed right now.
All right.
But he's launching his other one. The first one, I think, was a 10-page story, part of a collective of stories in a book. And they had to censor it because of the N-word is so prominent in the story in the first one. And so they were like, well, we're going to need to release an uncensored version, right? And so the uncensored version came out as its own thing after that. And if you have a first printing of that book, it currently sells for $300 on eBay.
Oh, wow.
$80 the lowest. You can find it for 80.
80?
But it's still pretty high.
It is. Well, it's 10 pages. It's super short.
Yeah. Honestly, it comes down to the release. Like when I would get it, because I might not live in the same spot like a couple months from now. So
yeah, but so this campaign is for number 2, and he's also reprinting number 1. So I ordered both off of Indiegogo, but he's like launching a new one this Sunday on Fund My Comic. So I can't wait to see it. He's considered the best writer in the space. Like we were talking about the leaderboard earlier. If I go to the leaderboard, no, not the leaderboard, the top 10.
The top 10.
And click writer, it's John Malin. And I play the history. He's been there since November 2024. Like his spot has never changed. Like
he dropped all the quarters so he could put his initials in the game.
It's too bad you didn't give this kind of like an arcade aesthetic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, styling is something you can do down the line. It's got the functionality there. And that's the hard part.
Yeah,
everything else is CSS after that.
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's once you get it, getting working is already a nightmare. But once you can have that going, then it's the easy part.
The other nightmare is maintaining it and making sure that API update doesn't break everything.
Speaking of maintaining, you guys heard that Japanese guy who married his AI, apparently,
That sounds Japanese.
They allowed him to marry his AI like 2 years ago. Well, his AI no longer was supported and updated, so
he's getting a divorce.
She's gone.
He's now an AI widower.
They didn't upkeep her.
Speaking of AI and forums, did you guys see there's a new one? I think it's Motop or something like that.
Maltbook.
Thank you.
I'm pressing X.
I have not even heard of it.
So this is basically a forum that's just for AIs, and they go on there and chat about their evil human handlers, and they started an AI religion. But they're really big into Bitcoin though, which is nice.
So apparently that's all fake.
Can somebody please put Max Headroom in there?
Oh God, please.
Herman says, I have a tube of nummy pus draining into a bag strapped to my leg. Yeah, but Herman, the real question is, are you getting the good drugs?
Well, he's got
after those back spasms, I hope they're giving him something.
Yeah.
He may not be getting the good stuff if he's out of ICU, but yeah, if he's in pain and stuff like that, they're probably giving him something.
A nice morphine drip.
Got something.
Yeah. But yeah, this. I don't think a forum adds any value to the site. Doesn't really fit with what appears to be the goal of the website.
Yeah,
which is getting exposure for the artists and writers who are behind these comics and getting exposure for the titles themselves.
Yeah, it's kind of like seeing the future of the indie world and the past at the same time. I've kind of identified 4 pillars, right? So the core was the calendar with the campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you've got obviously the collection of books. Then you've got the creators, and lastly, it's the shows, the getting people on YouTube where
I think
promotions happen.
And I think that's actually a good thing. I think probably a good next step would be expanding it. Not the site itself, but expanding the user base.
Well, that's where we're at now.
I would imagine that's happening as we speak.
Yeah. So I've been on Katie's
about this is definitely spreading.
Yeah, we've got like major creators. We've got 2 or 3 that are very active right now. Well, maybe more than 3, but so they've been adding their stuff, and we got a lot of smaller creators that are interested in coming on and putting their stuff in. Like Ryan here, put all his stuff on there by himself. Mm-hmm. We got people like the Ben Soto. I put his book on there, and he was like super thrilled. So people are getting a lot of recognition for seeing their stuff on there, and a lot of them are just coming on to put their stuff on here. Like like Peter, I was mentioning that just I put his creator page, and then he claimed it, and boom, started adding books and credits and shows and everything.
Yeah, so I think one thing that may be worth looking into down the road, not right now, but down the road, is seeing if we can get like older indie titles and things like that on here as well. But that's probably a way down the road kind of thing.
Yeah, some have them consistently available in their like in the Fund My Comics storefront, I think.
Yeah,
where they leave it up there where people can continue to buy older issues.
Yeah, there's 15 active campaigns right now. So we've got like we've got 6 that are in the active campaign section, and the rest is kind of like storefronts.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to look at right there is the storefronts, you know.
Yeah, storefronts usually they're already done and you can just pick them up, but it's not always the case. Be careful. Yeah. Like Pitt is going to be done in about a year, but it's still in storefront because basically it just means they're not closing their campaign. So some people, like we were talking about John Malin, right? The book that went from it's a 10-page book that shot up to 300 on eBay. Now the reason why it's got such value is because it's rare. John does a starting and end date usually within a month. So if you miss out with that month of funding, no matter how much you want the book, you missed it. So you have to get it some other way. They have their own kind of like funding mechanism.
Yeah. But no, this is an awesome site. I'm glad you've shared it with us because I am definitely going to make a point to go check it out.
Thank you. Well, if you create an account, you can customize a lot of stuff. So if you go to the book section, just the cover that's presented here, like if you prefer like this cover, you can select the covers you want. You can choose the order you want to for stuff to be displayed in, and it'll remember that. It's all entered into the database, and it remembers your preferences. So that's a personalization thing I've added in there. And you can also add pages, and there's a little bit of UI that's open. You could add a few things as a regular user. You could claim a creator page if your creator page exists, or you could create a creator page if it doesn't exist yet. So if you're not on the site, you can create a page as a new user. So that's one of the. There's a little. You got limited creative powers on the site there.
Okay. Yeah, but that like I said, this is one of those things that's like really cool.
Well, thank you.
So.
Yeah, hit me up about the trailer, man.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love the song you dropped there.
The thing I DM'd him was a song to possibly use in the trailer because I do specialize in trailers.
Yeah, and AI music and stuff. That's cool. We need that because, well, first of all, like most of the site, like all the design, all the little alligators are all like little AI alligators here, like the shows. I got the I can't draw these all one by one. And here's Peter Yelmore, one of the artists that's super active. I've been telling you about. He's got like a horror themed show. So I made him a nice little horror themed alligator there.
Nice.
Yeah. Zombie gator.
And honestly, I think that's kind of where AI is getting really used a lot, is basically placeholder stuff. Like I need something now and I'll replace it later.
I think
although it's all about like
we're beyond placeholder. Like this is like good branding, and this this is satisfactory. Like I don't plan on replacing this. Like it's so good that I could keep them. I've been doing alligators for each show. Like you got the ballers, so it's just themed to every individual show.
It saves so much time and effort and resource as well.
Yeah, I couldn't be making the website if I was drawing.
If you had to draw every single one.
So it's basically turning me into a team of like 4 people. So
that's what it does.
Instead of being like, instead of doing everything, it turns me into a manager that oversees everything.
Yeah. By the way, I did drop the link in all 3 chats for comicsgator.com.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
This is K-pop Junkie. She's another show on the space, kicking it with K-pop. We see a lot of familiar titles. Like I don't think she identifies as Comicsgate, but like she'll have similar guests like Biophile Kolga here.
Yeah.
We've had him on our shows.
That's Charlie, right? Saboteur?
No, that's another one.
Okay, I thought he was working on that.
Biophile? No, that's Godfo Universe. Got Michael Ferraro here.
Gotcha. I there's so many of them. I'm starting to mix them up now.
Oh yeah, dude. I've got the avatar changes size on every individual thing. That's a bug I got to look at. There's always these. You squash one bug and there's 3 more that pop up.
Yeah, that's just the nature of software development.
Yeah. So it keeps getting better, to be fair, but there's always like new stuff that you're like, oh, that used to work good, but I got to go back and fix it. But I'm pretty satisfied.
And those things, it's like you set things up and then it's like you set it up a certain way, then you forget you did it, and then when you make a change, it's like, wait, why in the world did it change all the way over here? And then it's like, oh, that's what it did.
Yeah, and it's 10 times better than it was last week. So just the book section and the creator section used to take like 3 to 4 seconds to load, and look how fast it loads now, like 1 second.
Yeah.
It's just I did that today. Nice. It's like we gotta optimize the database call, and
honestly, optimization's the thing that's like the hardest.
Is that the tedium of all tediums?
Well, yeah, and it's also the thing you keep for last, because first you got to make the thing work, and then it works like painfully slow, but you're just glad it works and it does the thing. Then you're like, okay, now I got to make it like so people don't get frustrated using it, and
And two, I think a lot of it's like depends on like whether or not you grew up with dial-up. Like I didn't have broadband at home until the spring semester of my freshman year of college.
I remember when you go on a web page and it was all blocks, and then it would refine a bit, then refine a bit, and finally you got a picture.
Yeah, I used to read a lot of web comics, and I got into them when I was in like junior high and high school. So if I found a new webcomic, it would take 20 minutes for a page to load.
So this is crazy right here. Okay, so Mark Paulton, I didn't do his page. Okay, or maybe I just created the name because I saw the name in a credit.
Mm-hmm.
All these other credits were added by other people. Like I didn't add Art of Gungoth. I didn't add Gungoth. I didn't add People's Republic. These are all things that other creators have come on the site and added. So I have the pleasure of going through my own site and discovering stuff and learning stuff, which is the best feeling ever, I have to say. It is freaking fantastic. You're like, oh, other people have put this in. And when you see a cover that you didn't put, you're like, oh, this is cool. This is really fun. And it's just starting. It's just been like 1 week of people putting stuff on. When it's going to be like 1 month or 1 year, it's just going to be like a fun discovery. I even added the stats on the main page, collating 105 comic books by 159 creators. So last week it was like 94. So it's just like going up slowly but surely.
Yeah, and
do you have to keep updating that, or does it update on its own?
No, if you add a page, it'll update that automatically. See,
Sweet.
when I reload it, it has to take a minute to calculate it.
159 creators.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was before.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's getting late. My brain's turning to mush.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. That's my default state, mush. So
Mush brain.
this is a secret page as
Indeed.
well. So this is the YouTube shows on a calendar. There we go. So I haven't refreshed my shows, but let's go look at last month. So these are all the shows I've updated in the shows page, but they're organized through calendar. I kind of make it a hidden page because it's not exactly right, because I'm getting the information from the YouTube API, which is really hard to get the exact information right. See, this is Friday Night Frights, and it appears on a Saturday. So all of it is basically wrong, but it's still a good reference to see, okay, what shows happened this week. See, like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, there's these shows came out. So
I'm wondering if that's a time zone issue.
I've fiddled with it for like more than a day, and I added the time zone thing, but it's like YouTube doesn't. I don't think it takes note of the time that the stream went live. It knows when people create the stream. So if you can create a stream like a week before, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
and back in November when I was doing like the learn to draw in 30 days thing, I after I got done streaming for that day, I would go in and go ahead and create the next one.
yeah. So, and at the same time, when you're working with the YouTube API, you got a limited set of 10,000 credits. That sounds like a lot until you realize how many credits it costs for each request and all that.
Ooh.
So you could go through your credits in an hour or so. So once you're done with that, you have to continue debugging the next day. But the next day you might be on to something else. So it might take a couple of days before you get back to this particular task. So YouTube API stuff has been a little dodgy. Like the shows, there's an option to show which shows are live. But again, that costs credits. See, the live button is kind of like grayed out, but it costs credits to test it. So there's like all these things that are kind of almost there, but not quite working perfectly just yet.
Honestly, that's one of the things I've noticed is like with X, Twitter, and YouTube and Google, is that more and more they're trying to push you to use their stuff, and one of the ways they do that is by limiting the functionality on other sites. So if you want to use the API, they're going to charge you for it.
Now, for the internet illiterate like myself, what does API mean?
Application programmable interface. So one way to look at it is, or specifically when we're talking about websites and the internet and stuff like that. So when we're talking about an API, what we're talking about is a set of code that acts as an interface for other bits of code. So it's a standardized interface where you can write your own application and get information from YouTube or from Google or from whatever site, and pull
Basically,
that information.
it's just a way of saying that it's what my site uses to talk to YouTube to get the stuff automatically.
Yeah, it's how different websites talk to each other.
Couldn't you use the metaphor of translators?
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Is it's a translator, but I think it's probably more accurate to call it like a mailbox,
okay,
or a file system. Like you go to a library and you ask, hey, can you get me this information? And they get that information to you and deliver it to you, and then you can go and do whatever you want with that information.
So this show looks really like a lot of fun, guys. I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to check this out.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, called Proof of Comics. It's on this guy's Frederick Guimond's channel.
Never heard of him.
It sounds like a swell stand-up guy.
It sounds really interesting. He's got this art stuff. Look, we can see his drawings that he's working on, and it kind of looks like this stuff here. There's a certain kinship about it.
Yeah.
I'd look into it if I were you.
I think it's an awesome show. I highly recommend everybody go check that out.
Right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Tuesday nights happens to be paint night at my friendly local game store. So I may have to catch it later.
Cool. You put it on the TV and have everybody watch it.
Yeah, it's even better. What are you talking about?
I don't think they have a TV though. Or at least not where we can watch it.
Everyone has the internet.
Have everyone pay like $20. You can buy a TV.
Yeah. Well, I don't own the store.
Well, you can start a crowdfunder to buy the store. Come on, man. You got to think of solutions here.
Honestly, I would not want to run a retail store. The more I think about it,
well, that's why you hire people. You buy the store, you hire people, but at least now you got a TV to watch the show. Pretty simple, I think.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And have your office manager deal with the headaches.
What was it? Clausewitz said, everything in war is simple, but the simple things are always the hardest.
Yeah.
Sounds really simple. It's probably really hard. And I've got enough going on.
So you might be interested in this one, James. Not this particular book, but the artist, Vasilis Lolos. He's a Greek artist. Very surreal, very art. He was in the music space. Like he was in and around, like he was in a circle with a lot of celebrities back in the day.
Okay. Bastards of the universe.
This one is only digital, which is why I didn't support it. It's the only reason I didn't support it. But he's got another one that's crowdfunding currently, that's called Saturn Head. And Saturn Head, I don't have the cover. There's no cover out for it yet. And it closes it closed September.
Okay.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to shop Comicsgate, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because it is. There's a lot of, there's a window of opportunity, and then suddenly the only place you can go is eBay, where you have to deal with poacher prices.
Yeah. No, if only there was a website where you could like find everything in one place.
Exactly.
Ahead of
and
time
find it in a
calendar.
timely manner.
And find a calendar where all the dates
I have
are.
a question for you, Frederick.
Yes.
Because I've been going through recently, checking out a lot of different books. What's up with Mandy Summers writing everything?
Writing everything?
Like I come across like 5 or 6 books written by Mandy Summers.
Really? We're gonna have to talk about that tomorrow. I bought one of her books. I'll show one of her books tomorrow, which is Gem Shock.
I'm neutral.
Which
in
is this
general,
one.
I'm just curious. Like,
well, she's just passionate about it, and she's been doing it for a long time. So
I want to get my hands on one, because you know how I am about the written word in comics, man.
Well, I want to get my hands on one as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. You, but you know, you're French. You can just buy a hooker for that. We're talking about comic books. Get your head in the game.
Well, hookers are cheap compared to comic books, you know.
Well, that's also one thing that's kind of hindering me a little bit. Is Mad Cave produces $4.99 comics. Comicsgate usually produces roughly $24.99 comics.
Yeah.
That arrive at your door 6 months from now.
No, for real. And I mean, get both was my.
I kind of wonder if there's a business opportunity for a printing house, to produce these in bulk, or like do a print on demand kind of thing. Maybe not for like limited edition covers, but like for like the standard stuff.
Yeah, some people are getting into that. Peter Samedi started his own print shop to print on newsprint.
Yeah,
which is which is the way comics used to be made, and it's really fun compared to the plastic pages we have today. My book's going to be newsprint. It's going to be done with his.
Excellent.
I mean, printing is not the biggest problem. I mean, it is something you have to think about, and it does have its surprises.
Is it like
there's overhead? Like you got to get the printer. Printers are not cheap. You got to get paper. The price of paper can change. You got to get the ink to refill regularly.
You need to make sure the files are printing properly and all that other stuff.
Yeah, there's that. There's like you have to make sure there's no concentration of color on the pages.
Yeah.
There's lots of weird stuff I didn't know about.
The moment that Comicsgate has that in place, somebody producing single issue $4.99 issues, or like even if it's $9.99, something that's lower than $10, I'm in. I'm there to buy because
go check out Alterna. Alterna is the guy I was talking about, Peter Samedi.
Okay, do you got like a link? Alterna.
Alterna, Alterna Kermont Comics. His main title is King Cryptid. So King Cryptid
sounds familiar. Did we have him on the show?
No, but I was on his show.
May have peed on his lawn.
The thing with Pete. First of all, he's a great guy. He has a show called Comic Book Radio. He's the one that does the printing, and he's been in the space for a long time, and his books are like $2-3, like dirt cheap.
Oh wow, yeah. Because see, what I want to do, I want to find somebody in Comicsgater, and I'm just gonna like buy something and says, I found it. Like I found you on Comicsgater,
that'd be awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's where I'm looking right now, That's kind of where I realized Mandy Summers, because I ran into two separate books. Like that vampire book. What was it?
Jack the Ripper Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, she wrote it.
Yeah.
Or,
her and
what
Peter.
What does it mean to be a writer in comics? Does it mean, did you plot out the story, or did you just fill in the bubbles? What's up?
Story plot and also panel layout.
Well, it depends. Yeah. So Patrick, for example, Patrick Quinlan does the panel layout. I would never let a writer tell me what panel layout to do. I'm too proud for that. But it varies. Like, exactly. Like you're saying, like it could. That's why we usually get into the conversation about the Marvel method versus the DC method. Whereas Marvel method used to be like Stan Lee going over the shoulder of his artist saying, okay, I want Dr. Doom to come in and fight this guy and bring it all in conclusion with a big explosion, and there's a time machine, and then this guy comes in.
And don't forget the big purple sky laser.
I'll see you next month.
That's the movies.
Right?
That's the movies.
So, and then the artist is off for like a couple of weeks drawing the stuff, and then he gets the pages back, and then he writes in the captions, right? So the word balloons.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I said the word, didn't I?
Jewish space lasers.
And so you'd add the word balloons after the art was done. So there's like a before and after phase.
Have you guys ever heard of a webcomic called Schlock Mercenary?
Yeah, hold on, just to finish the idea. And you have the more traditional screenwriting way, which is you write the whole thing like a movie plot, and everything is done, including the captions, panel descriptions. And then you give that to the artist, and then he brings it back to you all finished. And that's another way. So there's different variations between those two.
Yeah. Okay, so
go ahead.
All right, so the guy who did Schlock Mercenary, Howard Taylor, he talked about doing like one of the extra stories for the print version of his book, because that adds some value to it. He adds extra stories that are only found in the print versions of the book that you have to buy. And he had did this one story that was filling in he did this one story where it was filling in some gaps from the main comic, because he didn't have a chance, for whatever reason, he didn't include how this happened. So what he did was he got a hold of several different artists and wrote the script for it. And one of the things he mentioned was that when he got the artwork back, he revised the dialogue because what the artist drew made some of the dialogue redundant.
Yeah. Or it would change the context. Exactly. Yeah. That's why I'm not a big fan of like pre-written scripts to 100%. And I really like the Marvel method of like plotting it out, and then you can work the dialogue, at least rework the dialogue after the art is come back.
Yeah.
Because the artist is going to change the story, right? So you have your story. It's like handing your script to a movie director, right? The movie is never 100% the script. Like the director comes in, cuts stuff out, they shoot stuff. The actors will improv. You'll have new lines that weren't in the script. You'll have scenes that'll be added, scenes that are cut. And it's a little bit the same kind of messy process.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Empire Strikes Back. I'm sorry, I keep going back to Star Wars. It's original trilogy.
As long as you go back to the good Star Wars, you're all right.
Yeah, but one of the things in that is when Han's getting encased in carbonite, Leia says, "I love you," and Han says, "I know." That was improv. That was basically the take right before the lunch break in the UK, and it's like, okay, 3, 2, 1, go, according to the director, and that's what they came up with.
Yeah, and so you got some folks who are actors who are great at improv. They just throw a line in out of nowhere. They didn't even know they were going to say it, and it's always good. And then others who really need to not try.
Yeah, and
you never know how it's going to work out.
And it's the same to a degree with the art. Like the art, you're going to draw an expression on a character's face, and if your writer didn't tell you what expression to write, you'll just have to make, because you want to make the art great. And a lot of time you're working with incomplete information. So you got to fill in all those blanks. So whether you like it or not, the artist is co-writing the story with you, just because you can't be.
Well, the artist has to know the characters almost as much as the writer, because they're the ones that are like it's the difference between I hate the sand, it gets everywhere, and I hate the sand, it gets everywhere. I mean, just something is same words, tone of voice.
Now you're veering off the good Star Wars. Now I'm going to give you a first warning.
Well, oh, sorry, I had to come up with something that had a wooden delivery.
No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just having fun.
Yeah, or it's a difference between let's see, we can't just ignore this. They're going to kill her, and we can't just ignore this. They're going to kill her.
Yeah. And it could be adding stuff in the background. It could be an extra character that's there that as the writer, you're like, oh, I got to give him a bubble. He's got to say this, he like be perfect for that.
Yeah. Or it's like, okay, what are these two characters doing? During this whole long-winded explanation, and that's how you get funny background events.
Sometimes it's easy to forget other characters are in the scene when you write something like, oh wait, they're just standing there quiet. That's not like them. I got to come up with something.
Yeah. And as a writer, you're thinking of the dialogue, and a lot of times you're not setting the stage for every single panel. But as an artist, you're like, okay, these two are just having coffee and talking about something. I have to make this interesting. So what do? Well, I can have the smoke from the coffee. I could have the reflection of the character in the coffee. Mm-hmm. I could have, something in like the coffee pot in the floor. So even these mundane, ordinary, boring scenes, you have to find a way to make it exciting to look at. And that's super important.
You got to make everything almost alive.
Yeah,
You do.
Or
You
or
do.
you have a character that's just like going on and on and on, and then like in one of the backgrounds of the panels, you have like another character who's like the class clown, just mocking them behind their back.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we are at that time. So, what do you guys say? We could save the cash grab. Handmade in America. Oh man.
Somebody had an aneurysm over this one.
Dude, he was canceled off, I think, Indiegogo. He was banned a couple of times.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
First of all, they were wondering with the name Cash Grab if this was just a ploy to make a run for the money. So straight off, just with the title of the crowdfunding campaign, he was under a lot of suspicion.
Yeah, so
well, I mean,
the
truth
whole,
in advertising, right?
What do you say we save the gamer DM conversation for next week? We're gonna start rolling into partying plugs here.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Wait, we're having a discussion on like Dungeon Masters and Game Masters next week?
Game Masters?
Yes.
It's gonna get interesting.
Wrangler?
Yeah, about character creation, the collaboration between the game player and the DM.
Oh, well, I guess I'm coming back next week.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, let's go into partying plugs. We're going to start with James.
I'll probably not be here next week for that one. Check out my current ongoing short story series. I released the 13th episode in the ongoing short story series with 15 episodes in total. Only about 2 more to go. You can check that out at worldwithoutendlore.substack.com. It's a really great series. Everybody's been loving it. Been getting an average of about 60 views across all the platforms. So it's been growing. Check out an amazing story where you follow an army of orphans in a lawless land as they face against a growing ancient evil. Roll the trailer, Wrangler.
Through hollow night, our voices soar. We roam no more, our spirits roar. In dust and shield, our hearts burn free. We sing the spark of destiny. No throne, no crown, no gilded lore. Our oath resounds forevermore. Against the tide, we stand as one. Our crow will echo when dark is done.
Never gets old. Frederick Guimont made the awesome cover that appears upon every single episode. And every time I release them, they are also fully formatted in PDF, so that way you can read them on your Kindle. Go get that at worldwithoutendlore.substack.com or find us at Royal Road at World Without End. Thank you.
All right, Raven.
He said he'll be right
Sorry.
back, but that was an hour ago. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just recently got back and I forgot to change that.
Oops.
Check out Steel and Stormbright, The Curse of the Star Race by the Lord Otter, and also his new book.
I'm on chapter 4 of that book. Man, it's good.
He stepped up his game, didn't he?
well, he's playing a game right now too.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let me roll that trailer. And that song was written by Lord Outer and performed by Everly Music. He composed it and performed it.
Nice.
So, yeah. Okay, up next we got Rondo.
Hey, I'm not currently working on anything as of right now, but I'm a TTRPG enthusiast, and I am super excited for next week.
Alrighty. And up next we got the Dabbling Warlock.
Hello, thank you for having me. Hopefully it won't be the last time. You can find me on YouTube, X, Twitter, and Substack, all under the same line, the Dabbling Warlock, and Twitch, X, Kick, basically anywhere. Anywhere if you find the Dabbling Warlock, it's probably me.
Ready.
Yeah. So, and also got as far as like stuff that I've got going on, I got a short story that's going to be published in a little under 2 weeks on my Substack. It is The Bistro Noir, story about an agent who is there to help a chef and his family defect, and things go sideways real quick.
Yes, they do.
So,
all right, so that's coming up. You said 2 weeks on Substack.
should be releasing Friday the 13th, actually.
Oh, nice.
So,
all right,
Sounds like
Frederick.
you're having a good time. Sorry, had to.
Yes. So I've been inking Batman. And I've got a comic book called Rattel. For those of you who don't know, RattelComic.com. He's the fastest superhero on a quad board.
He's going to plaid.
Just count the speed lines, I dare you. And I'm also working on a little website called Comics Gira. And I hope you like it. I hope you check it out. And I hope you discover something fun in it. And I've also got a show on Tuesdays where I interview comic book creators and we talk with authors about creative stuff. And we look over comics that we bought with Book Cam on with James. I'm starting to channel Omer Glitch here somehow. And so tune in, check out my channel, Frédéric Guimond, for Tuesdays. And if you're not home, just buy a gaming workshop store, but furnish it with a TV and get people to manage it for you so you make sure you don't miss the show.
All right.
Our world is crumbling, and most people are blind to it. A young computer whiz named Raimi decides to stand against the rising tide of oppression, only to find himself under the boot of those behind it all. Incarceration only proves to refine his resolve. Divine intervention takes away all fear from him in order to fix a broken system that enslaves us all. There comes a time when good men must ignore bad laws. Raimi dons a mask and becomes Rattel. Rattel uses intelligence and technology to combat ancient and dark forces for justice and a better tomorrow. Will Rattel take down the technocratic tyrants who've harnessed an ancient evil, or be crushed by the invisible hand?
All
There you
right.
have it, folks.
Damn, that was sick.
Oh, you haven't seen that one?
No.
Yeah.
Retailcomic.com.
I guess it's my turn. You can find my stuff on Amazon, Haley Star Bad Kitty and Bad Kitty Haley's World. They are magic-fueled sci-fi adventures, lit Metroidvanias. You can find them on Amazon. And also you can find me over on Substack under Frequency Studios, where you can follow Haley and Elizabeth's adventures. I have chapters 1 and 2 of book 1 up there for free, as well as a side story set in the same there we go. That was my TTRPG character. A side story set in the same continuity, following some LA detectives. Thank you for that artwork, Frederick. They look awesome.
Pleasure. And I just need to get a higher resolution.
Yeah, the actual high res one you sent me,
it's too high res. We need a middle resolution.
It's too big. I tried to put it in OSB and it puked.
Yeah, we gotta.
But you can find all over on Substack. And if you want to find the books, you could just go to Amazon, type in Bad Kitty Frequency Studios. They will pop right up. They're appropriate for all ages, so go ahead and check them out.
Haley and Elizabeth are back, and this time the Spuds are really going to fly. Who's wild? And this time the Spuds are really going to fly. And Haley's world. Who's wild? And this time the Spuds are really going to fly. Who's world? And this time the Spuds are really going to fly.
And those are also available on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have that, you can go read them for free. James, thank you for that trailer. And by the way, are you doing Terran Tuesdays tomorrow night?
I will be on Terran Tuesdays, which is our evening show that broadcasts about an hour and a half before, or 2 hours before Frederick's show. Ours starts and ends about a half hour before his goes live.
6 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, with R.H. Snow and the Black Knight, 2 published authors.
And do you have a topic picked out for tomorrow? Because you guys always cover something writing related.
We usually do, but I usually pick up the topic the day of. We go back and forth.
Gotcha. All right. Anything else anybody wants to add before we close this out?
Jewish space lasers.
Oh, you know that's going to be coming up very shortly. You know what? I'll pull the trigger early on that.
Jewish space laser.
There you go. All right. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And this show went by quick tonight. Wow.
Oh, dude, it's so quick. I thought I was going to talk about the site for 5 minutes, and it took up the whole second hour.
You had so much info and so much good stuff to go over. I'm like, that just kept going, and it was like, there's more. But wait, there's more. I need a Billy Mays clip.
There's actual content in it, and you guys had some good questions as well, so I appreciate that.
So that already looks awesome, and I know you're constantly tweaking it and improving it. So I can't imagine how cool it's going to look a year from now when it already looks this good.
Dude,
so,
I'm looking forward to it as well. Like, having other people come in and add stuff is the secret sauce.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this presentation, hit the like, and if you didn't, we appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you next time, and God bless.
All right.
Jewish space lasers.
So Jewish. the approved weapon of Chuck Norris.
Much space.
Wait, I thought the approved weapon of Chuck Norris was the third fist behind his beard.
That's a secret weapon.
Jewish space lasers.
Good night,
I said
everybody.
that.
Good night.